Okay. So, you already know the reason why I pulled it out today for our follow-up coaching session. Then, aside from that one, we still have behavior to coach on. First things first is, do you still remember the coaching session that we have? That we had? Yes, acknowledgement. Well, the good thing about the acknowledgement, I was able to observe the acknowledgement statement. You did good. I've listened to your calls. I've listened to your calls. Then I already observed and very evident with your calls that you practice what and you exhibit the action plans that we have. So I want to commend you for doing that and good job. And then I want you to continue, doing acknowledging the customer's issue or feelings. And then aside from that one, I noticed one of your, a behavior that we need to check on or work on is staying engaged with your customer. So instead of, I let you listen to one of your calls. So
Hi, this is Carly. How can I help you? If I was calling to check on my refund, request, go ahead. Okay, let me go ahead and assist you in checking on the status of the refund. Can I have your first and last name? Amy Green.
surrender.
Thank you so much. Let me just go ahead and check when this refund was requested, alright?
Yesterday.
Yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just go ahead and check on anything. Anything on the line. Nothing.
Hello? Hello?
It's not remember that
Yeah,
color.
it was early.
So there. So what do you observe about the call that we listened
Dead air.
to? Dead air.
Uh-oh. Yeah. Sorry.
Okay, dead air. So since you mentioned dead air, um, during that time, what were you doing?
I was checking on the community. There was a note on the account stating that you'd have to check on this document since this is the first time that the checking account was used for the payment, so there is a 14-day something that you'd have to check on the document on. The thing is, there was a dead air. I know that you're pointing out that I'd have to stay engaged on the call. However, it would have been uh, it would have been nice if there was someone who was supporting who I can ask on what I should have done. Because I was checking on the community, I checked on the updates first, February 29th update. I was checking on what particular document that is, just so there is something that I can throw to the customer. That this is the process, blah 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 blah. It's just that sometimes support is very lacking. That's why I have to take so much time on a call. It's just that it was too bad that I was not able to call her up, call her back up, English, because my Avaya is not to accept, so another call came in. It's just that I wasn't able to call her back after that. I lost track of it.
I mean, since you mentioned that lacking support, I know that we don't have, I do apologize for since we don't have senior rep to support you guys, and I'm sorry about that. And then, what do you think that you could have done in that call? I mean, differently.
I could have talked to her, engaged to her, or at least build rapport. But I am checking on what I should be checking.
Okay, and then
And I was not able to get back at her.
yes, I saw the after the call after that call you receive a 9-minute call and then a 2-minute call. Then what do you think will be the impact for the customer? I mean customer experience. Since what we focus on is the behavior, staying engaged, and of course with the VOC that you have as well. Just for what we're focusing right now is VOC. For last month, you have a 5 VOC, and then since only one survey for this month, I know that you could still cope up with your I know with your capability. I know that you could still cope up with your scores. So what do you think will be the impact for the customer?
Well, it's not going to be a good customer experience if that happened. Moving forward, to be honest, since English is not my first language, I'm kind of scared to start a conversation unless
That's
it's a guy.
And it's a black guy.
Yes. I'm an
You're
expert.
fetish.
Yes, it is hard for me to build rapport if it is a customer, especially when it comes to money matters. Like she is asking for a refund, so maybe that's my bad. That's bad customer experience. One. That's my score.
So what were because I also noticed that I know that if you always ask if you don't know the answer, but what I noticed is you always put your headset down.
Mm.
Of course, if that will be you're not putting the customer on hold. I mean proper. Hold procedure.
Mm.
So if the customer hang up, that will lead to like I'm not saying that you're intentionally putting your headset down, but the thing is the impact of that is the customer will hang up. As a kid, what you heard is the customer saying hello.
Hello, hello. I was not able to set up the proper expectation. Well, the whole procedure was not done correctly in the first place. So again, my bad. I own that. That's my mistake. So moving forward, I'm gonna make sure that it's the proper whole procedure. Just so the customer would know that I am still on the line and I should have gone back to the customer and tell her that I'm still checking on the resolution for her concern or what advisement I should be giving her at the proper time frame that I should give her.
So moving forward.
Can I just butt in? Sorry. Is it okay? So when you mentioned earlier that the reason why there is a dead air, actually dead air is not a behavior. So it's a result of a behavior, right? So when you say dead air, it's happening because there's an opportunity or a particular behavior. So the behavior that we're focusing on and those calls that we've listened is actually engaging with the customer by probably providing advisements or expectations or doing play-by-play while you're searching for the answer. But you mentioned earlier that the reason why there's dead air on the call is because you're searching in community and there's no support that you can actually reach out to get answers. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. We're not able to get support from your supervisor, from other senior reps, from other TMs. Are you not able to get
No,
support?
because the TMs are in the calibration.
Earlier?
Yes.
Okay. So how about
That's
other
right.
senior reps?
And then Ariel was on a soup call
Okay.
for
Okay.
my other teammate.
Okay.
So I was asking Paula. Paula is beside me, and she also has a call. So what am I supposed to do? Search bar.
Okay. So we actually apologize if that's the reason why. So what do you think you could have done better? So you mentioned earlier that you could have approached anyone or probably go back to the customer to set expectation. So
Or
what are you going to do to, for example, set expectation? Let's say I'm the customer. How would you do that while you're searching for the answer?
wait.
I'm a black guy.
I'm black, really.
Which part?
Let's say, for example, you're gonna be looking for an answer. So how would you say that? How would you set expectation?
I should have told the customer.
So you can do a role play. So I'm your customer.
Oh, you ask me first and then I'll answer.
That's fine. You're in the process of searching the answer of what I've asked.
Let's say hello, you're there.
Yeah. Hello. Are you there?
Yes, I'm still here. Just please bear with me. I'm really so sorry if it's taking quite some time for me to look at the resolution that you have with the concern. I promise to get back to you in a few minutes, and I promise to have an answer to your concern when I come back.
Well, thank you so much. So that's a very good setting of expectation. So
I love it.
so basically you were able to provide a very good setting of expectation, and if you mentioned that on that call that we've listened to,
I know.
then it could have been different on the customer satisfaction standpoint, right? So what's preventing you from doing that?
Like at said I'm scared to interact.
Yes.
Okay, you're scared to interact.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the difference between how you presented that to me right now or earlier and the customer?
Because I have to give an answer now. Joke lang.
That's fine. So you know what? We love the tone of your voice. You can really communicate well. And based on your answers earlier when we were doing role play, you're able to communicate well, and I definitely understand your statements. So I'm wondering why is it that we're not able to set proper expectation? So you mentioned that you're not really comfortable in relating.
Engaging into a conversation, or because what I am trying to prevent is for them to get irritated.
Okay. Do you think, I have a question, that's a good answer. Do you think if you say that statement earlier, the way how you said that to me, do you think I'll be irritated?
Well, some customers, yes.
Okay.
But I should have tried just so
Right.
I can find out.
Because that's just your assumption, right? So if you haven't tried it, then you would not know.
You know what? One thing I've learned ever since training is to never assume. And
Right.
that's what I cannot take out. I've always,
Okay.
not always, most of the time I assume, especially if
Mm-hmm.
the customer is already upset.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I tell the customer something,
Mm-hmm.
they will be more upset. So that's
Right.
what I am trying to avoid.
Right.
But I guess it backfired
Mhm.
on me this
Mhm.
time. So rest assured that moving forward,
And I like that. I like that assurance that you're giving me right now. Because
Moving
basically,
forward.
that would definitely help you improve on the customer satisfaction standpoint.
and I just want to say that with regards to the support,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying that Ina does not
Mhm.
support us. It's just that during that time there was no one near available.
Okay.
Maybe what I should do is I should master the product more,
Right.
just so I do not have to not to ask for assistance from anyone,
Right.
but as much as possible, just so I can stand alone.
Right. That's perfect, right? Okay. So,
Maybe we should define what conversation is for
sure.
Jenkins. When you say conversation, the way you have set expectation is entirely a good conversation
Right.
already. So I'm just letting you know. Yep. So
It was.
I'm just letting you know that you're just scared about the reactions. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe we need to work on your confidence, like I said, in terms of, when you throw out something to set expectation, are you that scared really when
Me?
they
Because you know what I'm scared of. If for example I tell you something, you get upset. I'm scared that my patience will.
So it boils down to
Okay. So it's your.
So
it's
there
your-
might be
okay.
a clash,
Okay.
but
Okay, yes.
that's.
it's hard.
But I guess I
It's
took the job, so I shouldn't. My patience should be extended.
Right.
correct.
So moving forward.
So I have a question for you. So since that we are able to identify where you're coming from, your challenges. So what do you think is a good action plan for us or for you? What can you think of can you think of an action plan that would really help you improve on that specific challenge? Because basically providing statements, you're good. So about the controlling the temper if the customer, let's say for example, got upset. So how do you think you would
How would you
manage
handle
that?
your
Yes.
emotions, your reaction towards something that you would not expect on the first place? Any idea?
Breathe,
That's one.
agree?
pause,
Okay.
Very good.
think,
Good.
and then deliver.
Right.
That's it.
You're smart.
Ah,
You're smart. So I have a question for you, Kay. You're a really smart girl, and I know we've been in the program for too long na, and I know you personally. I know that you're really good in terms of communication,
Mhm.
and you're intelligent.
Oh
On top
my
of you
God.
being beautiful,
Oh
right?
my God.
So
Just
so
joke
the
on
question
it.
there, Kay, is that do not assume. Okay. The way you say your statement earlier, said your statements to me earlier is really fantastic, and I would appreciate that.
Right.
So if you're gonna assume on every single call that if you set proper expectation, then they'll be upset, then there's not gonna be really.
I guess do not do not be afraid
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
of the reaction,
Right.
as long as you know that you're doing your job
Right.
and
Correct.
you're doing the right thing, and you're not breaking any or
Right.
not following the policy. You
Right.
shouldn't
Right.
be scared.
And also, I want to bring out, Kay, like, since you have this full knowledge about the whole situation, and you know right off the bat it's wrong, it can't be helped as well that what you're doing as that behavior could lead to something not appropriate in QA standpoint
Correct.
or to work related, because that's
Correct.
still considered something as customer abuse. You may want to tag it because you're not talking back to your customer,
Right.
and the calls are being dropped, and we would not. It will lead us to, let's go ahead and investigate. Let's go ahead and check that memo. And in fact, we knew that you're trying your best to kind of help. So we want to make sure and kind of let you know if we're not gonna overcome it little by little, you know, it may came to a point that that's something
Of course.
unavoidable.
The point of me being here and taking the job is to answer phone calls and to
Right.
resolve.
Right.
So
Right.
I know that it's my job.
Mm-hmm.
Not every time that it happens, and rest assured that moving forward,
Okay, very
I
good.
am gonna do my best, since I don't want to stay as an agent forever.
There you go.
So,
That's great. So what's your plan?
my
Maybe it's
plan for
What's your plan?
of course, I've been here for 4 years.
Okay. Do you have any plan of stepping up or?
Of course,
Okay.
I'm just because when I was with Lee, he
Okay.
was already asking me what I would, if I wanted to step up, what would I want to be.
Okay.
He said, think about it first, because he told me to apply for a position when you're ready, not
Mhm.
when there is a vacancy.
Right.
That's what stuck to me.
Mm-hmm.
So right now I'm kind of figuring out what am I good on, or
Okay.
just for me to be able to know that the position that I'm applying for is right fit for me.
Okay. So what is that position? What do you think?
Since I know I have flaws when it comes to
No, everyone has flaws, so
to
that's
call
okay.
handling and a few things. I know things that I'm doing wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So I am looking at being a QA someday.
Okay. That's okay. And you know what? I thank you for being so honest today. And like what I told you earlier during our setting of expectation, this is a very good learning session for the supervisors as well as for the agent, because we got a chance to talk to you personally. So hearing that from you, that you wanted to become a QA in the future, then definitely we'll be able to help you to improve first, because basically we're gonna go ahead and go back to your performance, to your attitude, right, to everything before you were given a chance to be on that position.
Well,
Go ahead.
to be honest, I myself, when I listen to a call, I know what I do wrong.
Okay.
It's just sometimes force of habit,
Okay.
you know, and I know that's not good,
Okay.
because that will not get me anywhere.
Right.
So all I'm asking for is, do not judge me based on that
Mhm.
particular call, because I am better than that.
Very good. And you know what? I know that. We all know that. So I think the question for you now is, since that we heard you and we know that, you know, the account is ramping, there's going to be a lot of opportunities for everyone. So I think my question for you is, I'm not going to dig deeper as to why you're doing that. Though, let's say, for example, you're already aware on how to say that, but you're not saying it. We're not going to discuss about that. So I think my question for you now is, what are you going to do differently moving forward?
I'm gonna do things right. If the thing on me on here is, or in here is, engaging on or with the customer,
Okay.
I'm gonna try my best not to be scared or
Okay.
assume on what they are gonna be telling me if I tell them something that
Okay.
is not in favor of them.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna try my best, little by little,
Right.
to improve and to be the best agent.
Right. Very good. So the next question for you is, what support do you need from your supports?
No, because sometimes, is it possible to request for an SR?
Definitely. Basically, we already have assigned another senior rep for Ina, so it's our bad because you know what happened to Nicole. So it's basically something that we have to really consider. So, but we are going to be assigning a supervisor.
It's on the works right now.
Right. So, but keep in mind that any supervisors, you can reach out to them. Any senior reps, I know that sometimes it's a challenge for you to reach out to them, but reach out. So that's the only thing that I can say. And as well as Ina, so make sure that you are providing immediate support to Kay, helping her to get in that position where she wants to be. So that's your role as a supervisor, right? So like what I've always mentioned to everyone, that your greatest medal as a supervisor is to be able to see your subordinates getting your position, right? Or other position.
That's what Lee told me as well. The only time he will know that he is a good supervisor is by the number of the reps he will be able to mold to step up on a position.
That's exactly my definition. You
Right.
know, you should be a disposable leader.
Right.
It's in preparation for the others to step up
Right.
and move you up to the next ladder. And I just want to piggyback about the
Pun intended.
your confidence. You know, remember you said that you're scared because you might be affected the way you would respond. So again, I love the way you said it. Like you had to breathe, stop, think it over before you
Right.
throw the answer. You may just want to add, hey, Ina, I'm about to tell this to the customer. What do you think? You know, just engage the
Right.
support.
Right.
Well, to add on to that as well, if any one of us receive a call, a customer, if we were to receive a customer, alright, I would definitely know that the customer would choose you over me just because of how you talk.
Right.
So don't be afraid. You have a very great conversational
Right.
skills. That's very evident.
That's why.
That's why you can get. Alright, so just be confident enough. Always think of them, alright, as an asset to you, to your team, to the site, and to the company that we're serving.
And I think the last thing that I'll be giving you out today is that when you dream of a position, right? Not a position what you're thinking. When you dream of a role,
Still not.
when you dream of a role,
A pose.
always. So you're an agent, right? You're wanting to be like that in the future. So always think of what's the character or characteristic of that role that you want it to be, and apply it while you are still an agent. So let's say, for example, you want it to be a quality in the future. So what are the qualities of the quality team that you have to do while you are an agent? Right? So that when you get the post, then you can definitely say that I'm really qualified for this because I've been doing this. Yeah, right? Do you agree?
Yes.
Right?
Of course.
So just to recap this coaching session.
I guess I want to
Sure,
give
go
the
ahead.
floor to Ina to close
Sure.
the session for the last 2-3 minutes maybe
Okay.
in the coaching session. Go, close it.
Do you want to hug each other?
Always.
Go.
Little bounce.
Well, I just want to say, since you mentioned earlier, I just want to say sorry for not giving the full support to you
No.
guys.
Oh, can I say something muna?
No.
Martin, sorry. Because Ina is supporting us. It's just that she cannot do everything at the same time. And sometimes she gets so, how do you call that? I don't know how to say it in English.
What's the thing?
Haggard, no.
Okay.
Because especially some of my teammates are fairly new.
Okay.
I know that I shouldn't be asking,
Right.
We're adding some people.
adding
Right.
Yeah.
burden to her.
And that's something that you should be doing for the new reps, right?
Which sometimes I do. It's just that they're scared of me sometimes as well.
Okay.
There. But she is a good supervisor. As much as possible, whatever she can give, she does.
Okay.
So it's not with regard to the support, I'm not trying to point out that you're not able to support us. It's just that you cannot do everything at the same time.
Right.
So
Okay.
yeah.
And thank you for the things that you told me today, for being honest. Since they thought earlier that we're practicing,
Yeah.
yeah,
No
we're
surprise.
setting your expectation earlier. but thank you for understanding.
I know that you guys, both of you are really good people, and you're smart, intelligent, and beautiful. So it just
Let's cut the chase. Come on.
so thank you, Kay, for
Thank you, Kay.
for being with us today. Hope that you've learned, or everyone here learned from you. So thank you so much, and
Anti-log mapping.
yes, you have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kay.
Thank you.
Excuse me. The Red Sea can be parted, please. Bye.
So how do you feel about that?
Even though I did not present good,
Right?
but
What do you mean
honestly,
present good?
In presenting,
You did your best.
Yep.
but I've learned so much for today.
Okay. Like.
Like how you, the from the very start, how you open
Okay.
the coaching, and then the impact, and then moving forward.
So how did we dig deeper as to what's causing her to do that? Right? As you can see, what's the root cause?
Fear.
Fear is not a root cause.
She's
What's the root cause? We only have 5 root cause, right?
Skill.
Knowledge, skill, will,
Will.
internal, external.
Internal.
Internal, external. So what's the root cause? Will? Why did you say will?
She can communicate, right?
Okay. So
So let's eliminate now.
Okay.
Let's eliminate.
Let's do the process of elimination. We've already did the action planning for the agent, however, not everyone is aligned with the root cause. So, knowledge. Is she knowledgeable? Is she
Yes.
aware on what to say to the customer?
Yes.
Yes.
Eliminate.
Okay, eliminated knowledge, right? The skill. So, is she skilled when it comes to proficiency in communication and communicating to the customer?
Yes.
She is? She was?
Are you sure?
She was?
Let me say this. I mean, I think it's not. She's not yet that ready for the skill part.
Okay.
Why? Because she's not something, or that's something she does not do on a regular basis.
So, she mentioned earlier that I'm scared.
Right.
When you're scared, then you cannot exhibit your skill, right?
Right.
Even though you're aware on what to say and you're knowledgeable
Right.
on what to say, but you're scared, there's something preventing you from doing that. That's a skill,
Yes. It's a skill issue, guys.
right? The agent's she is willing to do that. However, she's scared, right? It's not internal because of the support. You can probably add to that, right? So it's actually
Skill issues.
it's a skill issue. Do you guys agree?
Yep.
She's knowledgeable, but she can't really do that because she's scared. Something is holding her off in doing that specific behavior. We're aligned now? Good, right?
Feedback, eh?
Okay. Go.
Let me start. Tried her best to pretty much deliver what should have been said. But a couple of things. First would be, since we're talking about you identify that it's a skill and you know that the rep sound good. So first step would be you should model the behavior that
Right.
you're confident and you sound good. 'Cause
But let's
that's
give her the benefit of the doubt because we
Yeah.
interpreted.
Other than that, maybe just a little tweak on how you would deliver the script or your pattern because it sounded more like a pattern coaching style per bullet and it's not a free flow.
I think it's all about the confidence of Ian. Since this is the first time you
Yeah.
actually,
That's all.
that's
for me.
that's coachable and that's something that you can learn.
Yep.
That's
And also
skill.
on the last part, and again, it's gonna both down with the skill. You were given the opportunity to properly close it, and since we see Kay very engaged,
Very engaged.
very open-minded.
Very smart.
So you could have take that to your leverage and get really okay. This is what we would do, and I promise you that QA thing that's just gonna be a few steps away from
Right.
you, and I'll make a follow up, just to check, blah blah blah. So could have end the session with Kay now looking at you
Right.
that you guys are gonna work together.
But my question is, if you continued your coaching style earlier like that, do you think that this agent would walk out with something, do you think he will be able to boost her morale and you will be able to identify that?
I admit.
Right. So that's actually an opportunity that you can learn, right? Well, that's the reason why we have this calibration session. Right. So it's really critical. That's the reason why we butt in, because we want to make sure that before she walked out of this room, we get the real reason as to why she's not doing that. And she's
smart. She knew her root cause already.
Right.
It was laid
Right.
on the plate. All
Right.
you need to do is to talk to Kay about it.
Yeah. So my
It's a buffet.
It's a buffet.
Yeah, my
Here's one
assignment
plus.
is for you to do a follow-up coaching session with her on what we've talked about today. Help this agent to improve on her performance so that she can apply for the role. Use that as your advantage to help her improve. Guys, you've been silent for quite some time now.
Yeah, add on to that would be, we know that when we listen to the call, I mean, those are not very great call. Well, in fact, those are something that is flagging, right? Something that violated a company policy that we have. But the agent did not feel the pressure
Right.
of the call,
That way
right?
it's really-
Because what I've noticed when you were talking to her is that it's very heavy.
Right.
So when you open up the conversation, though you praised her with the acknowledgement statement,
Right.
if I'm the representative, I did not feel that I'm being acknowledged. Right. So try to have your own intonation.
Loosen up.
Have your own intonation as well. If that's something to be happy because that's something to celebrate. If it's something serious, then try to be serious. If it's something that's encouraging, sound more encouraging for her, because that definitely affects the coaching session. So that's something that you may want to check out next time.
You guys, what's your feedback? Anything that you guys learned for today? You guys will get a chance to get an agent like that.
And also, hopefully, we had a couple of sessions like this because a little while ago we had the definition what's the root cause.
Right.
So
Right.
the next session probably will have a better alignment in terms of the root cause.
Okay.
Causing the type of root cause. Go.
Anything you learned today, Pat?
Basically takeaways, because of course I'm still new to this as well, and I might be presenting
Right.
the following week. So this might
You are really presenting them.
I am actually going to present. Yeah,
You're not Mike. It's not Mike. You will present.
let's just open.
Okay.
Yeah, some things that I actually noticed. Probably the most impactful thing is get to know your agents more. Because you know, it's either you get to know them by them taking the calls itself, but it's far different from knowing them personally. So it's either they provide you the root cause based on the call itself, but at their own way.
I definitely agree with Pat, and I think it's also your role to identify what's their dream, what they want to be in the future, right? So especially if this agent is a tenured one, I think your day one with those new agents or your new team, you have to really talk to them, not to set expectation about the program specifics, but to get to know them better.
Yep. I'm
Yes,
actually
know
a
your
witness that time when she mentioned lead.
Right?
I was technically right there. She was asking now how to do Excel, how to
Right.
do reports. So she's really into
Me too.
something really to a position.
And to add on top of that, she's been asking me what are the stuff that we've been doing as an SR, because she was really good at planning if she wanted to be an SR or basically QA. So she really has something in her that we really need to, mold.
Next.
What?
Yep, well, I guess that everything that I'm thinking was already been mentioned, but I just like to thank, or probably just for Ina. First, because that was your part, is the introduction, and I like the way you do it. It's just that maybe it's just because of the first time, so the confidence level is not that. But that's again something that we could work on. What I like most about the session is that when Chris and how Chris and Brian was able to get the agent buy-in. That's something very important to me when the agent already pick up what he really wanted to do, I mean, that's something that you could focus on to get their buy-in. Tied it up with, okay, so how can we turn this opportunity to something better by gaining what you really wanted to do in the future?
Right.
So when that's something that agent feels, okay, so now I really feel that I'm comfortable and I wanted to really push for what I really want.
Right.
That's something that I want.
Agreed. Thank you, Paul. How about you, Mark?
Well, one thing that I've learned on this coaching session that we have is that setting the mood expectation first, and also you should learn your representative, your agents that you're handling right now, and reach out to them every day, start of the shift, like during the coaching huddle, and you must know what are the capabilities of your agent, so that you can boost their morale in doing in stepping up on the next level. That's right.
Yes, well, I have a agents quite I would say similar situation with Ina. She's also
Ina or Kate?
With Kate. She's also intelligent.
She's an active listener.
She's she's actually scared. There are times that she makes up the questions that she had in mind in order to deliver to the customer. So that's what I'm preparing for myself as well when I will do the coaching part.
Mark?
Well, for me, it's not really on the coaching part, but this is to address basically about how to get the behavior. Getting behavior sometimes can be a walk in the park.
Right.
It's sometimes obvious.
Yes.
Sometimes it can be hard. It's challenging to get a specific behavior or the most impactful behavior. So sometimes you really have to, if you're really having a hard time, you have to come up your way, probably get help from QA just to, because when Ina presented earlier, some of the behaviors she presented are not really the most impacting as to what we have observed during the calibration session. And let's say if you guys, or if we're coaching on a specific behavior and all of a sudden, after a few coaching sessions, the numbers are still not moving, then make sure to get help, and as well as try to dig deeper, because sometimes, and if you're already coaching on a certain behavior, it's okay to change the behavior if you think the initial behavior that you gotten is incorrect. You just have to set expectation with the agent that why you need to move to a certain behavior.
So good session again for us, right? Everyone learned. This is a very good coaching
Don't
session.
say
Because
that
of the
Jenkins is eating.
so she's not really eating, right? It's really... So follow up with her. Make sure that you take note of the behavior as well as the plan that we actually provided her. So she gave commitments, right? She's really gonna work hard for that. But if you're not gonna be following up with that commitment, then definitely everything would just fail, right? If she'll go back to the same behavior if you're not gonna do coaching with her. So please do coaching every single day or week. So thank you so much, guys, for attending today's calibration. Tomorrow, so on next week, it's gonna be. Did Paul already presented?
Not yet.
I think I want to make sure that all supervisors present first before the TMDP. So we'll do it Thursday again. So because Paul is on the rest day during Tuesday and Wednesday.
Alright.
So please send your PowerPoint before that. Thank you so much, and you guys have a great shift today. Thank you.
Yeah.
Can you turn it off?
Updates.